how to get the result. Okay, then you try to figure out what is the original number, you know, the length, or volume, whatever. Okay, so that's so-called inverse problem. We begin with a simple one, and then
you caps lock.
Okay, then we work on some other story problems. Okay. Right. Those students who join the class late, so should know that immediately you mute yourself. Otherwise, everybody hear what you're talking about.
What's the matter, Mommy?
Okay. Charles Mann, please mute. Don't forget that. Right, so remember, if you join the class after the class starts, mute your microphone, so otherwise everybody hear you. Okay, and don't talk about nonsense during the class. Okay. So we are going to study inverse problem today. Inverse problem is about, you know the result. You're trying to go back to the starting point. Okay, and most of them are the story problems. You know, we're talking about. The first couple of them just about numbers. Okay, so you know that a number is added by 6, then multiplied by 6. Okay, as a result is a 36. So find the original number. Okay, find the original number. So how did I solve this problem? See, in this case, you may write down the statement completely using, see, some number is called up the square there. I don't want to use x, right? Subtract 86, right? Then it multiplied by another 6. So then the result is 36. Now you can step by step like to get original number. So how do you do that? You divide both sides, divide by 6. So this number plus 6 should be 36. Multiplication becomes division. Okay. So then division you can write under 6. It's like I'll use division notation. Okay. So that will be 6. Okay. Then, right? Then what is the original number? So original number is going to be, can you see that, right? Let me. The original number is going to be clearly is going to be 0, right? Because only 0 plus 6 gives a 0. So that's the easy problem. The second problem is a little bit more complicated. Okay. Second problem is a little more complicated. Yeah, let's take a look at that problem. Okay. A number is multiplied by 4, then subtracted by 46. The result is divided by 3, then subtracted by 10. Let's see, it's 2. How many operations then, right? It's 4. Then the final result is 4. What is the original number? Now, to do this type of problems, I prefer to write down the one line is called we so-called equation, then step by step to find out that number. Okay, and that number we put a square there. Then okay, multiply by 4. Okay, subtract by 46. Okay, and as a result, when we talk about result, we should put a parenthesis. That's my result. Okay, and then divide by 3. Okay, then subtract by 10. So this should be equal to 4. Okay, this should be equal to 4. Now, then how to get back to the original number? So you have to simplify on the left-hand side. If you subtract the 10, you have to add both at a 10, right? So some number subtract 10, you get 4. That number is going to be just add the 10 to both sides, So that would be 14, right? Now, some number divided by 3 equals 14. That number should be 14 times 3. So both sides multiplied by 3. Then this could be 14 times 3, right? 14 times 3 is going to be 42. Okay? So some number minus 46 is going to be 42. So that number is going to be 42 plus 46. If you do computation carefully, you will able to get the correct answer. So 88. So some number multiplied by 4, and the result is 88, and that number is going to be 88 divided by 4, which is going to be 22. Okay, so that is not a problem. Okay, I think that's, if we were talking about number, one particular number, only one number, then we can do this using this way to do it. Now, that's a backward, you can step by step going back and to solve the problem. Okay, the next one, I probably don't recommend doing this. Okay, the next problem is quite a complicated story problem. Okay, how do we solve this problem? Let's understand the question. Washers on sale. Okay, in the morning, the store sold 10 more than half. We don't know what is the original number. Okay, 10 more, so half is sold, then sold addition 10. Right? In the afternoon, the store, we don't know how many washers left. Store sold half of the remaining plus 20. Okay? Then at the end of the day, and then they count. Okay, there are still 95 washers left. So the question is, how many washers were in the store at the very beginning? Okay, at the very beginning. So what is the best way to do? Okay, I'm going to use a picture to show to you. Okay. Now, those who want to post the answers, don't put repeatedly. Okay, I have to say that again. Awesome, you're not doing good. Okay, maybe your answer even is wrong. Okay, so only type of ones, don't repeat it. Okay, that causes trouble. Okay, so let's work out this problem. Everybody gets 430. Let's see whether it's correct or not. All right, so let's look at the last day. Okay, the last day. Okay, I'm going to draw the one line. Okay, so this is one line, right? So first of all, half is sold, right? Right. So you mark it in the middle. Okay, you have to draw the picture. The question is more complicated. Then sold 10 more. So what is remaining? This is the middle point. Okay, what is remaining is this part. Okay, then this part is going to be, again, that's doing left afternoon. What's the remaining? Okay, so sold half plus 20 more. Okay, this is another middle point of the remaining. So then you were told that this is left at the end, right? So the left, you have left at 295. Okay, if you can clearly draw this picture, then you're probably able to figure out the total length of this line, right? If you draw the line, right? So let's do step by step. All right, so this part will be, right, will be 115. Do you agree, right? Just the addition. Then you double it, right? Double it, that is going to be, right, 115 times 2, that's going to be, right, yeah, times 2, right? So that is going to be 115 times 2 is 230. We agree, right? You double it. And then you're going to add 10. So half of the original, right? So that's 10. So that is going to be 240. This is half of the original. Okay, the final answer is going to be 240 times 2. Okay, so you double it. So this picture clearly shows you how to get the original amount of the washers. Okay, so the answer is 240 times 2. It's 480 washers. All right. Okay, so that's a picture. Now, if you really want to use the equation, it's not easy to do that, but I can show you the equation, right? That's why I keep the line here. Okay, so someday maybe you want to solve the. So original amount is denoted by x, right? Okay, so in the morning, okay, what is left, right? Half was sold, right? Minus half, then minus 10. So that is a total. That is what is left after, in the morning, right? So that will be half of x minus 10. Okay, that's the first step. Okay, then in the morning. In the afternoon, you sold half of what is left. So half of what is left, right? So you can, what is half of the left? Okay. 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 So this is you sold half of that, right? Subtract this, we are still half. So then you, after sold half, that's what is left. Then you subtract the 20, right? Okay. Then what is left is 95. Okay. And from here, you can step by step, you can find what is x. You get one single equation. It's very similar to the above problem. Okay. And then from here, first of all, this number, right, is going to be, should be equal to 115. Okay, then you multiply both sides by 2. So that's going to be 115 times 2, and that is going to be 230. Then you add both sides by 10, right? You can 140. Then that x should be 240 times 2, 480. Okay. I have to ask you to stop writing them. Kelvin Yan, you're not doing well today. Jensen, Kelvin Yan, again, Jensen, awesome. Okay. So don't say anything. I have to, otherwise, I have to mute. Yeah, screw it. If the picture is much easier to understand, I just let me repeat again. The picture is much easier to understand than the equations, but sometimes parallelly I show you the equation. So first of all, you draw the whole line. This is total amount of washers, right? And you read the sentence by sentence. So first of all, you sold half of that, and then 10 more in the morning, right? Then so the part I use a yellow color, okay, is going to be what is left in the morning, okay? Then in the afternoon, what is left? We still don't know, right? That's in the yellow color. You put the middle point there, you sold half. Then you still have to, then sold 20 more. So what is left is this part, okay, in different color. That is left. And you were told that 95 washers left. And when you look at the picture, you just want to figure out the length of the original line, okay? So you have to do step by step, okay? 95 plus 20 is half of what is left, okay? In the morning, which is 115. Then because it's half, so just double it, then you get total 230 is what is left of all the washes after the morning sale. Okay. Then you go back and you have add a 10. That's a total half. Okay. So this is the idea. You can go back to this problem a little bit later. Okay. And I'm going to ask you to work out. Okay. All right. Let's try. Yeah, we are probably trying to solve this problem in 2 different ways. You can compare, okay, which way is better. Some students can use both. So problem number 4, there was a box of oranges at home. So on the first day, we ate half plus 1, okay, oranges. On the second day, we repeat the same way, eat half of the remaining plus 1. Then on the third day, after we ate half of the remaining from the second day, plus 1, there were only 1 left. How many oranges were there in the box? Okay. Now this is a little bit more complicated than the previous one because that's 3 times here. We do that, right? Okay. So you probably have to go step by step, right? So I think it's called inverse problem. So you from the last result and go back step by step. Okay, how do you write it clearly? Okay, and you double check that when you get the answers. And then we're trying to use the equation also. Okay. So let's do it. And how can I start with? Okay, now this time, so maybe it's hard to draw the whole line. So the first day, let's say the last day, the third day, I'm going to go backward, okay? And on the third day, okay? On the third day, okay? And we see that only 1 left, right? Only 1 left. So let me draw this short line. Only 1 left. After 8, we ate half, right? After we ate half, then plus 1 more. So this is what is left, okay? And here we add 1. So total, clearly, this will be, this is a 4, right? So, so actually what we're doing here is 1 plus 1 times 2, that's 4. That's 4 oranges left from the second day. Second day, and I draw the line again, okay? But what is left here is going to be 4, right? That's from, we told that, right? Second day. We already know how many, because this is what we're given to the third day, right? So 4. How do you get this 4? So actually is half plus 1. Okay? So total on the second day, how many oranges are there? Will be 4 plus 1 times 2. So it's going to be 10. Okay? Then the first day, okay, let me just draw this line here. So on first day, I know that what is left for the second day is going to be 10. So you add the 1, then, right? Okay, then it's a 10 plus 1 times 2, that's 22. Okay, 22 is what you're given on the first day. Okay, then you can go back, then you can go from first day to second day, you double check the answers, right? 22 divided by 2, it's going to be 11. 11, right? Yeah, 11. So half is 11. If you ate 1 more, then you had 12. So then only 10 left. Then give to the next day. Okay, that's how you do it. Okay. That's a picture. If you really want to use the equation, then you have to name the variable. Okay, X is the original quantity, right? X is the original quantity, okay, the first day. And then you add half, okay? Add half. So we want to just count what is remaining, right? X, then half. So half, just half left, right? X minus 1/2, okay? But you also still have to subtract the 1. So that's a total left for the second day. Then you have to, then this half, okay, minus 1 will be left for the third day, okay? So let's simplify that. You probably, well, that's, if you don't want to simplify it, it's okay, just keep it. Okay? Otherwise, you lost the track on it. Then you have the half, okay, minus 1, okay? That's what is left. It's going to be 4. Then you just go back one pair, and go back step by step to figure out what is the number here. Then you go back, right? And then here it's like a, that's going to be, plus 1 multiplied by 2. So 4 plus 1 times 2, okay? Then here, that's going to be 10, right? Then here is a 10 plus 1 multiplied by 2. So you go back, okay? Then this will be, 20. Yeah, that one, sorry. Yeah, that will be 22. Come on. Yeah, first of all, 4 and 5, that's going to be 10. We already did, right? Okay, then 11 times 2. Yeah, how many times do we have here? So first of all, begin with a 4, right? Yeah, 4 is left. No, I go too many steps actually. So just only 2 days. Yeah, so we actually just only 2 days here. The third day. Okay, so this is going to be 4, then 4 plus 1, and multiply by 2. Then here it's going to be 10. Okay, then you move 1 to the right hand side. You multiply 2. That's x, 22. Okay, that's it. So don't go too many steps. Okay, but you can always use a picture if you feel. Most of the students will feel it's easy to use the pictures. But if you write down the equations, that's how do you do that, okay? And I already see write down the result here. Half of x minus 1, because half is what is left after you ate half, okay? And actually, when half of x is actually x minus half of x. That's what I got, okay? So then subtract the 1, because you ate 1 more. Then what is left is half of x minus 1, okay? Right, so this is a little bit difficult, more abstract, use equations when we try always. The fifth problem will be this one, that's 3, okay? Students here, Ellen, Debbie, and John, they have 60 books together, total 60 books. Debbie borrows 3 books from Ellen, and then Ellen lent 5 books to John. Okay, so David lends 5 books to John. P means David. Okay, then they have equal numbers of books. Okay, so how many books each has originally? How many books does each have originally? Okay. Okay, you can That's just one step problem, okay? So you can have three of them. That's the result, the final result, okay? And here we have Aaron and David and John, okay? Right now, each of them have the same number of books, right? So remember, David borrows 3 books, okay? So actually, David borrows 3 books from Aaron, but gives 5 books to John, okay? So Aaron gives 3 books to David. David gives 3 books to John, okay? So right now they're equal, right? They're equal means, first of all, how many of each of them? They're equal means 3 students here, 20, 20. That's the result, right? So first of all, you have to figure out how many books each have right now. And then you just reverse the procedure, okay? Right now, each of them have 20, right? But John got 5 books from David. So John has to return 5 books. After return 5 books to David, you only have, 25, okay? Right? That's what the John has originally. Then look at David, right? David originally how many books, right? So David has to return 3 books to John, to Aaron, right? So Aaron is going to be 23 books originally because Aaron lost 3 books. Okay? So you figured out the result first, then you look at how to figure out the original number. For the David, you can see that, right? David got, so David got books, right? So he got 5 books back from John, and he also have to give 3 books. So the net change will be 2, so it's 22. Okay, 22 is a 20 minus 3 plus 5. Okay, here's 20 plus 3. Here's 20, 20 minus 5, 15. Sorry, that's my writing. So 15. Okay, total total will be 60. Yeah, 15. Yeah. So this is yeah, this is how do we solve the problem. Now, if you really want to write down the equation, it's not a, well, you still can do that, right? Ellen means Ellen plus David plus John should be equal to 60, right? Okay. Then Ellen, right, gave 3 books to John. Okay. So, but you know this is going to be the result. As a result, it's 20 because they're equal. Okay. And then the David gets 3 books, but also gives 5 books to John. So that's also should be 20. And the John gets 5 books from David. So then the result is 20. So then you solve each of them, okay? Then you get A should be equal to 23, and the D equals 22, and the J is going to be 15. All right. Okay. So take a look at the next problem. We have an A, B, C. Yeah, we have an A, B, C. Each has several marbles. If A gives 13 marbles to B, B gives 23 marbles to C, C gives 3 marbles to A, then each has 40 marbles. How many marbles does each have originally? Okay. So what you do is, if you let's try to use the equations. Okay, follow the steps. So A is going to, so let's see how does it change. Okay, A and B and C. A is going to lose 30 marbles. B is going to get 13 marbles, right? Right? And then B is give away 23 marbles to C. So C get 23 marbles. But C gives 3 marbles to A, so you add the 3. So that would be net change, right? So each person see how many marbles get, how many marbles gives away. So after you modify each number, you will get A minus 10, right? It's going to be 40. And here's A minus 10 is also 40. And here's a C plus 20 equals 40. Okay, so now it's clear. It is clear that what is A and B and C. So solving the equation, you can, yeah, it can clearly state that, right? So then A is going to be 50, right? And the B is also going to be 50, and the C is going to be 20. Okay, so total is 120 there. Okay, when they have the equal marbles, 120 divided by 3 is 40. So you double check, that's correct. Okay. All right, so this is a similar problem, and we just did. Okay. If you want to draw the picture, this is another picture. You know, we have a 40, 40, 40. Each of them has a 40, 40. Okay, that's A and B and C. Then you look at the picture. All right. First of all, originally on the top, right? A gives, how do you get a 40? Right? A gives B 13, and B gives C 23, and C gives A 3. Okay, that's the result. But if you want to reverse this procedure, you have to have 40. You have to give away 3 to C, and you get 13 from the B. Just reverse each procedure. And here it's a 40, and the 40 is actually you have to get 23 back, but you also give us 13 back to the A. And the C here is, let's look at the picture, right? See here is that 40 has to give back 23, right? But it also gets 3 back because you give 3 to the A. So that's why you still can get the answer here. It's going to be 50 and 50 and 20. Okay. So first of all, you write down all the so I write all the ways there to distribute the marbles. Okay, and the reverse procedure, but you know the result. So when you go back, just add becomes minus, addition becomes a subtraction, and the division becomes multiplication. Such thing. Okay, division becomes multiplication, and subtraction becomes addition. Just reverse, yeah, reverse the operation. You will get the answers. Okay. Okay, let's try the next problem. By the way, when you log in, I already give you all the links. You have to your own name first, okay? And I have several names which I don't recognize, and also you cannot log in use 2 different devices, okay? So remember that, okay? So we have, so you have to change the name. Otherwise, I don't know who you are. Okay, got it? I don't know who is OL. Okay, you have to use the child's name, okay? All right, let's do this problem. Tank A pulls out the same amount of oil as tank B into tank B. Okay. Then tank Z, okay, so that's the order here. Then tank then a tank B pulls, yeah, you can put the same amount of oil as tank A into tank A. So what is left in tank A, you just look at, okay? Then each tank has 36 kilograms of oil. Okay, we want to know the original, okay, amount of oil in each tank. Okay. Right, so how do we do that? Let me divide this space into 2. Okay. Now, each tank has 36. So you begin with a 36. Okay. The question is, look at last step. Okay. So last step, how does tank? Yeah, this is tank A. That's tank B. That's the last step, right? So right now, each of them have a 36. Right, 36, 36. Okay, how do we get this 36? Okay, so if we do not so we got 36 because we pull out amount of oil as tank B into tank A. So that means before that, right? So before that, in the tank A, right? We actually, we pour some amount of oil from tank B to tank A. So that the result is 36. How to get 36? You should know that amount of oil from tank B is equal to, right? Is equal to the same amount of oil in tank A, right? So that's why before you pour out, this actually is 18 and 18. So that was 18 from tank B, okay? Right? 18 from tank B. So now this is what I have in tank B. So in tank B, 36 plus okay, 36 plus 18, that was 36 plus 18, that will be total will be 54. Okay, before the second step. Okay, before the second step. Okay, there was 54 kilograms of oil in tank B. After you pour 18 into tank A, then tank A double it. So that's what 36. Okay, so now, okay, now let's go back to how do we get this 54 kilograms oil in tank B? Because we get some from tank A. So actually, how do we get that? Actually, we double it, right? So the half of this 54 will be half of this 54 will be 27. Okay, 27, 27. That's tank B. So actually, 27. This is 18, right? So 27 is coming from tank A originally. So my answer will be, this will be the origin amount in tank A. That will be origin amount in tank B. Okay, so that is that is the answer. Okay, so it's harder to draw the picture, but think we have to think about go backward. Okay, you have to go backward and draw the picture step by step. That's the yeah, that is the first action. That's the second action. Okay, and you have to go backward, right? So the first action, you know, in order to get 54, right? The first action, you have to give 27 from from tank A to tank B, tank A, right? So then you can double it and get a 54. So just go back step by step. Okay, let's go through this problem. Okay, if you want to use a picture, right, you have to figure out how do we get 36, right? And then you either focus on B or focus on A. You have to focus on A. You for the A, tank A, you double it, right? Because that's what it says, double. Okay, you double it. So then you get 36. That's why originally will be 18. But that other 18 comes from B. So B, right, tank B should be 36 plus 18. Okay, so this is how to get step. And if you understand that step, then you can go back to the first step. Okay, you can go back to the first step. Okay. Right. And how do we solve them using using the equations? You know, if you want to using equations, then you have to denote A as denote by A as the original amount in A, right? And then in B. Okay. So then you read the first sentence. Tank A pulls out the same amount of into tank B. That tank B is doubled. So A minus B, because you pull out the same amount as B into B. Okay, that's the first step, first action. Okay, then the second action, you have to double what is in the tank A. Then tank B, you have to subtract the amount of oil in tank A. So finally, each of them has 36. Okay, so that is how you do that. You get two equations. That's much harder to figure out actually, right? So, but the first equation you will get 2A minus B, 36. The second one, after you simplify, minus A minus B equals 36, and you can solve it. How do you do that? Well, A minus B is going to be 18, right? You divide both sides by 18. Then you don't need to simplify this equation. You can
click this button
put this 18. So that would be 2B minus 18 equals 36. Actually, what we're doing over there in the picture, you get 36 plus 18 and 54. Okay. Then B should be 54 divided by 2, which is 27. Okay. So that's how do we do it. Okay. Yeah, let's look at the next problem. David and John have several books. If David gives the same number of books as John has to John, actually double John's book, right? Then John gives after that, John gives the same amount of books to David. You double what is remaining in David's hands. Okay, then each of them has a 24 bucks. So I hope you can use equations and can use use the pictures to solve the problem. Right. So let's draw the line in the middle, and then we're going to use both methods. Okay, let's use the equations. Then you try to use a picture. Okay, it's the same idea. David and John. Okay, we don't know how many books do they have each at the very beginning. So David is given the same amount of books as John has to John. So actually, John is going to be gets so many books. It's double, right? And then David, you have to subtract J because it's already a gift. So total sum remains unchanged, right? Then after that, right? And you are going, David gives some books to John. This should double John's book. So it's going to be D minus J. And this time, he's going to lose this amount of books. The final result will be each of them have 24. Maybe sometimes the answer will be then David has 8 books, John maybe have 8 books. So then this is where you can always solve the problem. Okay, 24. So now you can have a 2D minus J equals 24. 2J minus D minus J equals 24. So let's see how to get that. D minus J is going to be 12 because it's divided by 2, right? And that 12 is going to put it here. So 2J minus 12 equals 24. Okay, and then 2J equals 12, add 12 to both sides, you will get 36. So that implies J is going to be 18. Okay, so you find the J, then you can find the D. Okay, so D minus J is going to be 12. So J is 18. So then you put back, you can get J, right? And you go to this side, and then that's a D equals 12 plus 18. That's going to be 30. Okay, David has 30 books. John has 18 books. Okay, now how to use the picture? Picture is much easier to do that. Picture is much easier to do that, right? Okay. We can do the similar things, right? So picture is much easier
over
to do.
there.
Yeah. So each of them has 24 books. 24 books. Here's David and John. Okay, at the end.
Buttons over
okay,
there.
that's the first day, and yeah. So we go backwards. So this was the second time. That's the first time, right? The second time, how does David got 24 bucks? Well, David got 24 bucks just because John gives him some books, right? So how many books he got? He should get 12. So actually this David originally has only 12 books here. Then other 12 is coming from John. Okay, right? In order to get 24. Then this time, John is going to be 36 books. John has 30 books. So 36 books. John has 36 books. Before the second step, right? The second step, John gives some books to David. So John has 36 books. But how does John have 36 books? There's some books from David in the first step. So actually half of that will be 18. As a half of 18 goes back to David. So that's why total that will be 30. Okay, and So David has 30 books and John has 18 books. Okay, so that's probably much easier to understand if you use a picture. But problems can be more complicated. So that's why we hope you are also able to at least list those equations just for translate the sentence to an equation. Okay. Okay. All right, so the next problem. There are several balls in a bag. Each time Katie takes half of the balls from the bag, then puts one ball back into the bag. First of all, like, okay, I grab half of them. Oops, I'm going to put the one back. But after 4 times, there are 5 balls left in the bag. Then you look at the remaining balls in the bag, right? Then you take half and put the one back. Take half and put them back 4 times. How many balls? Originally, if we see 5 balls left. Right? This can be. Let's see. We can. We can draw the picture like that. Go backward. This is inverse problem after the 4th time, right? The 3rd time, 2nd, 1st, original. Let's draw it. Let's write down this picture, okay? So after the 4th time, she does this, right? So there are 5 left, right? Right? There are 5 balls there after. So then you go back to the 3rd step. How many left from the 3rd step? How many left from the 3rd step is because how do you get half, right? How do you get a 5? 5 actually, because that's one ball was added late. So if you take one ball away, this should be the half. Okay, so this should be multiplied by 2, which is 8. That is how many balls left after the 3rd step. Okay, because after 3rd step we have 8 left. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. Then 5 left, right? So if you understand that step, the remaining part will be easy. And then do the how to get 8. 8 minus 1 multiplied by 2. 8 minus 1 is going to be half of that. And double it, that's going to be 14. Then 14 minus 1 times 2 will be 23. Original will be 23, 26, yeah. 26 minus 1 times 2 would be 50. Okay, so there are 50. There are 50 of them. Right. If you want to use the equation, a little bit difficult, but you can do that. Equation always you write on the final result, and then you write on the final result. Begin with the first, okay, x, right? Right. Just want to see how many balls left. That's original. So we write in the different way, right? I write down the original first. Okay, let's try. Okay, original is x, and if you take half of them off, you only half of left, right? But half of left I have to add 1 because get 1 more back. Then the 2nd step, okay, then half of this, and then plus 1, right? And then the 3rd step, and also half of this, half of that. Okay, So there'll be several steps. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, the fourth step. See, so it will be half of this. So this is it's pretty complicated. You see, as you can show too. So you have to go. The picture is much better. Okay, so I'm going to use parenthesis. Yeah, +1. Yeah, so that is and this should be equal to 5. But you can still do step by step. You can go back to solve the equation. -1 multiplied by 2, -1 multiplied by 2, -1 multiplied by 2. Okay. Okay. Then you can go back step by step. You can get x. All right. Okay, you will get the same result. Okay. So the last problem. Let's try to finish the last problem. Okay. David cuts a string. Each time he cuts 1 meter more than the half of the string. After 5 cuts, the string left is 5 meters long. Okay. What is the original length of the string? Okay. Okay. And I think use a picture would be much easier. Okay. After 5, right? So let's do this. Okay. Original one. This is would be after, right? After the 5th cut. Fourth cut, 3rd cut, 2nd cut, and the 1st cut. Okay, and then the origin. Okay, so you can figure out this step by step. Okay, some students already gave me the answers. Okay, after 5th cut, okay, there's a 5 left, right? And the point is what is left on the 5th cut, the 4th cut, right? After the 4th cut. Well, after the 4th cut, and you have to see, yeah, if you understand that this step you solve the problem. Now you have, okay, you have a 5 left, right? How does get 5 left, right? How to get 5 left, right? So the way you do is you cut 1 more than a half. So this is a half. So after you cut half, right? Then I cut 1 more, right? Then left is 5. So the original one after 4th cut will be 5 plus 1 times 2, which is 12. Okay, clear? Total is 12. That's after 4th cut. They still give 12, right? Right? Divide by half, which is 6. 6 cut 1 more, right? That's the only 5 left. So if you understand that, then you solve the problem quickly. Multiply 2, it's going to be 26. Then 26 plus 1 times 2, and the 27, so 54. Then 54 plus 1 times 2, and that is going to be 110. 110 plus 1 times 2 is 222. Okay, 222. So that is the answer. Okay.